Hi, everyone. Let me go through this case with you. And so I'm going to highlight a bunch of stuff that, first of all, might be important to the discussion. So this individual, an elderly gentleman, comes to the emergency department. He is also, excuse me, awake and alert, but he is complaining of shortness of breath. He has an irregular heartbeat, but his condition deteriorates. He has impending respiratory failure, but he's still awake and alert. So he has a copy of his signed DNR. So I'm just going to write this down over here. DNR is an example of an advance directive. It is an order, and the key thing is because we've discussed a medical order, like a do not resuscitate order, has to be followed. So it's signed by a physician. It says it's signed. The order states that he wants no invasive care. So he doesn't want sort of, invasive meaning intrusive medical procedures, like a ventilator. That's really the main type of thing. So now we go to the second part. There's disagreement among his family members. It doesn't say anything in here about who is the healthcare representative, like in the advanced directive discussion we talked about. But his son, suggests, okay, if he has a heart attack, it's potentially reversible through CPR. His father might recover. And his daughter doesn't agree with her wishes. So, what does the medical team, this is really the question, what does the medical team, the healthcare professionals, do? So, as you look at this, what are all the issues here? So, he's in the emergency department. So, it's a different area in healthcare, but he has a do not resuscitate order, which clearly states his wishes. His family members, essentially his son and his daughter, disagree. It doesn't say anything else. It's probably the most important thing here as you look at this. And you go back to the idea that an advance directive or a do not resuscitate order, when does it come into effect? It comes into effect when the individual, the patient, is unable to communicate, right? So, as long as the individual is able to communicate verbally or through hand signs or whatever else, this really is irrelevant. And so, what we see is the gentleman is awake and alert, and he remains awake and alert. And so, the do not resuscitate order will not come into place. And even though there's disagreements between the son and the daughter in terms of what perhaps should happen, the medical team will always go back to what the gentleman would want. Now, you can sort of say what matters most, but he's in an emergency department. So essentially, the do not resuscitate will not come into effect. And what really is going to happen, and the medical team will always go back to the gentleman. So they will, certainly not dismiss the family members, but say, listen, your dad is able to communicate. He might not be able to speak, but we're going to go with what he would like to do. And so this is really a case of supporting the gentleman's autonomy, and the idea his DNR still might come into play, and it doesn't mean that his family members might not be able to voice their concerns. But as long as the individual can communicate, we have to go back to the idea that the individual is in charge. And now there still might be disagreement. If you remember Rebecca Sudor's article, where she was discussing with her grandparents about what matters most to them, that still might happen. But in this case, it's really important to understand that the person should be able to make the decision. He might still say, well, I'm going to let my kids decide. Well, that might be problematic because they are in disagreement, but he needs to make the case. Okay. So as we go through these cases, it's important to understand the bigger picture here and to understand what's really happening deeply. I think you all have an understanding of do not resuscitate orders and advance directives, but go deeper to understand really what matters. Okay? Thanks very much, folks. All right, bye.